Hey, so the title of this video is going to be, should I be offended? And I'm curious if I should be offended. I just want to talk about an experience that happened to me on numerous occasions, and I was just curious whether or not, as a black woman, not even just a natural black woman, but a woman, should I be offended? I was actually walking down the street, and I had my natural hair in a ponytail. Not really a ponytail, kind of like a poof. So I just pushed it back, and it was just full and behind me, and it was big, and it was what it was, and I'm happy with my length right now. But a woman walked up to me and she said, "Your hair is so beautiful. What do you do to it to get it like that?" And I looked at her and I was like, "What do you mean, what do I do to my hair to get it like that?" And she basically went on to say that, she knows that, most black people, their hair is straighter and it's not as big. Like, what did I do to my hair to make it so full and so kinky? And in turn, I replied to her that every black person has their hair, it grows in kinky naturally. The majority of the people that you do see, they're doing something to their hair in order to straighten it. And I proceeded to educate her, and I wasn't necessarily offended by what she said. My feelings didn't get hurt. I was a little startled by it, but I wasn't annoyed. I was very happy to explain to her why my hair looks different than other black people's hair, or why their hair ultimately looks different than mine. But it brought about in me a bigger discussion. It brought about me an inner conflict, because a part of me felt like I should be offended by the fact that she doesn't understand at least just a basic physical characteristic of an African American appearance. She didn't understand that. You walk around next to African American people all day. How do you not understand what our hair must look like when it grows out of our head? I think that it seems like something that would be preschool, to know that maybe if our hair is curly and kinky and all those great things when we're children, that somehow it's not like that when we're adults. Or I just don't understand. I didn't really get her mentality. I didn't get that there are still people who don't really understand it up until tomorrow. And she didn't mean anything horrible by it. Obviously, she wasn't trying to be malicious. She just wanted to know. She was curious. So my question is to black people as a whole: should I be offended by that? Should I be offended by her ignorance? Maybe not malicious ignorance, but her ignorance to what we naturally look like as people. And another thing I wanted to say was, she used a word for me that kind of didn't really sit well with me. And though it may not to anyone else feel like a bad thing or a bad term or anything like that, I didn't like it because of the fact that I've had personal experiences with it previously, and it wasn't good experiences. She called my hair exotic. She said that it was rich and just different, as if I'm not a red-blooded American and I'm not sitting in front of her and live my whole life in the country. It's the thought that, even though we're here and we've been here for many, many, many centuries, the word exotic is being used for African American people is interesting. So another reason why I had a problem with that word was because of the fact that I've had other guys of other races come up to me and say things, and they may not come up to me, they become my friend and they've inquired about dating me. And they said things to me like, "Eileen, I'm going to be honest with you and forthright. I'm very interested in what sexual intercourse would be like with you because of the fact that you're exotic and you're, a beautiful black girl, and would it be different? And I take offense to stuff like that. I'm a person, and I'm not someone else's sexual experience. And so for a guy to come up to me and say something like that is kind of off-putting, and I don't know whether or not anyone else would be offended by it, but I was. I mean, I don't want to be looked at as an experience. I want to be looked at as a person. So, I mean, I kind of want to hear from African American people as well as other people of other races, whether or not you think that that's offensive to me. First, to be asked what I do to my hair to get it what it looks like, the way it looks like naturally, and whether or not it's an insult or a compliment for a guy to say he's interested in being intimate with me because of the fact that I'm exotic. So just let me know how you feel. All right.